pure God power. Get everything you ever wanted and live the life of your dreams. The Master's Course. Copyright 2010 by Richard Lee McKim Jr. All rights reserved. Let the quest for knowing begin. Now, this same guy now has a great big green tuning fork on his mind. Now, what that means for us is that not only does he have a positive thought, because it's green, but because it's big, we know that it's a high emotional volume. He's really excited about something. He's really thinking good thoughts. There's really great things going on in his mind. Now, from that place, that's a great place. Here it says, now that you have this active vibration within your mind and thoughts, it continues to vibrate. Since your thoughts, emotions, and body conditions are either in a feel-good state or in a feel-bad state, then it doesn't matter what gets you to that state. You will remain in that state until something happens to change it. So, now that he's in this positive state, however he got there, maybe he listened to a favorite song, maybe he talked to a favorite friend, maybe he was watching a great movie, maybe he was out in the park, whatever. Maybe he read a good book. Whatever he did to get to the positive state, he is in the positive state now. What happens when you're in the positive state? Well, let's take a look at this next illustration. Okay, now we got the guy with the green tuning fork on his mind, and now he's looking out into his world. And as he looks out into his world, he sees 6 green tuning forks out there. They're all over the place. So what that means is that because he's got the positive thoughts going on in his mind, he's resonating with positive things, and as he looks out into his world, he sees positive things all over the place. Could one of those things be negative to somebody else? Yeah. One of those things could be negative to him. But because of his positive states, the positive state of mind he's in right now, all he sees is the positive aspects. You see, maybe his car is breaking down all the time. But right now, as he looks out at his car, it looks like great transportation. It's running fine right now. Everything is working on it. He's seeing and eliciting a positive result. Now, if he looked at that car or was in the car driving it with a negative state of mind, he could be eliciting negative results. He could break down because that's what he's eliciting. So as he looks out into his world, whatever he sees, he elicits and experiences and notices the positive things, and of the other things, he elicits and sees and experiences the positive aspects of those things. So everything he sees is good, basically. So here it says, now that you are in a good mood and in a positive state of being, you notice other good things and even more things that you like. From this state of being, not only do you notice wonderful things in your world, but you elicit them into your experience. You get welcome phone calls. The traffic lights just happen to all be green when you get to them. You get great ideas for your work. You just happen to catch your favorite shows on TV, and the list goes on. This is the ideal state to be in. Remember that vibrations not only resonate with the exact frequencies that are like them, but they also resonate with frequencies that are in their family or group. While you are in a good vibration state, all things that you think are good are resonating in your experience to some degree. Everything good is working out for you. This could be your job, your love life, your health, your finances, and and everything else you have ever wanted. Okay, uh-oh. Now we're looking at this next illustration, and right away, I can tell by looking at it, it's not going to be good. Because, first of all, the good part is he's got a green thought. He's got a green tuning fork in his mind. He's thinking a positive thought, but he's observing a negative situation. It's a red tuning fork being activated. Now, we know it's a negative situation because it's red. That's our visual indication that it's a negative situation. How could that tuning fork be red? Because he is thinking that that's a negative situation. Maybe that was the meaning that was already present, or maybe that's the meaning he gave it. But in either case, it is a negative meaning for him right now. So even though he's got some positive thoughts for the moment in his mind, he's observing in a situation and he's given it a negative meaning. Okay, let's see what it says here. Then it happens, you notice something that you don't like. It could be something that went wrong, or someone said something to you, or cut you off in traffic, or it could be anything else. This is where you would normally use your God power to keep in the good state. You would say something like, nothing can ruin my day. Or you might say, no matter what happens, things are always working out for me, and I know that eventually I will realize that this has served me in some beneficial way. If you were to quickly convert the situation to a good one, then you would continue to experience your wonderful life, and you would continue to elicit and bring into your experience everything that you want. Oh, look at this illustration. Here it says, however, for example, let's say that you get upset instead, you raise a fuss like that person did in the catalog store example when they came across the dog poop, or you get your feelings hurt or just allow it to ruin your day. Since you continued to pay attention to this thought, it has now become active in your mind. Okay, let's look at this illustration here. Okay, we knew it was going to happen. We knew it, because back in that other illustration, he had a green tuning fork in his mind, which meant that he was having some positive thoughts. He was in a positive state of being, but he was observing a negative situation, or a situation that he gave a negative meaning to. Now, you can't do that without causing a negative response within you. And sure enough, we knew it was going to happen, and sure enough, it happened, all right. Now he's got a negative thought in his mind. You can't be observing a situation and thinking that it's a negative situation without thinking a negative thought. So if you observe a situation and you call it negative because you gave it a meaning of negative, or you accepted the meaning that it had of negative, you're going to have a negative thought. And sure enough, when you have a negative thought, then you're going to be on the negative side now. And that's what happened to this guy. He was observing a situation. He gave it a negative meaning. We know that because the tuning fork was red. That meant that he assessed it as a negative situation. And sure enough, he's got a negative thought in his mind now. So now he's got a red tuning fork in his mind, and he's still observing the situation that he thinks is negative.
To continue, go to How to Use Your God Power, Chapter number 11, Segment number 31. Let your quest for knowing continue.